If you've been struggling with IBS, Candida, SIBO, Crohn's disease, colitis, or you've started to believe the rumors that your autoimmune condition, your thyroid issues, or even your neurological conditions could be directly linked to your gut health, then you probably need a first step. You need to know, how do I get started? What am I actually going to introduce into my diet that's going to heal my gut and have a direct impact on my chronic symptoms? Now, this one is going to be a little weird, you guys, and if you are new here, welcome. But if you're not new here, then probably you know that I say kind of weird recommendations like this a lot, or seemingly weird. I actually think they're kind of normal. But you guys, this remedy is 100% effective. It works every single time with my clients, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So, hi, my name is Selena from Wholeness Campaign. I've recovered from IBS, parasitic infection, food intolerances, asthma, allergies, histamine intolerance, a host of chronic symptoms associated with multiple severe concussions, all using food as medicine, and it's my passion to help others do the same. Okay, so this recipe is essentially what I give my clients to start out their healing journey. This is what I tell everybody to do, and it is so basic, but I'm going to go through what the exact 3 ingredients are, how you actually introduce them in a way that's not going to flare up all your symptoms, and also what to do if you fall into that sensitive category of people that really can't tolerate most foods, or everything that they do for their health seems to cause another reaction and it doesn't work for them. I have an answer for you, and we're going to talk about it here in this video. So let's jump in. Okay, so ingredient number 1 is going to be meat stock. Meat stock is short cooked meaty bones. It is full of amino acids that heal and seal the gut lining. It heals and seals leaky gut. If you're familiar with that term, then you would know that's actually the mechanism that's causing the link between your gut and your autoimmune conditions. It's also the mechanism that causes inflammation throughout the whole body. But the cool thing about meat stock, which is different from bone broth, is that it literally goes in there and it spackles the digestive lining. So it's literally sealing intestinal permeability, this research term that basically means that there's holes or gaps in the epithelial cells, the tight junction, that allows for undigested food to seep into your bloodstream and cause reactions. Not only does it seal leaky gut, but it also kills yeast and pathogenic overgrowth. So in and of itself, it is a potent antimicrobial, plus all of the beneficial things you add into the meat stock that make it even more healing to the microbiome. But what you're going to want to do is learn to make jelly meat stock. And that is my unofficial term for basically really gelatinous meat stock so that you can scoop it with a spoon. It's like the texture of Jell-O, once it's chilled in the fridge at least. But that essentially means that there is a high amount of amino acids, gelatin, which is denatured collagen, and it's really going to be amazing for rebuilding the gut lining and killing off strains of pathogenic bacteria right off the bat. So we're going to start with 1 cup of that meat stock. And if you want to learn exactly how to make it correctly, how to source the right bones, the best recipe, all the cook time details and everything, then you can go ahead and check out the link in the description for my meat stock mini course. It is $17, you guys. I made it cheap because I want it to be accessible to you. I really want you to learn this skill, hone in on meat stock, and I promise you that your gut health is going to thank you. This is the first ingredient in that mug that you're going to drink every day and is really going to make the biggest difference on your health. Now, inside that mug, you are going to add in ingredient number 2, which is an egg yolk. And if you've been around on my channel, I've been yapping about egg yolks for the last several weeks, but egg yolks are rich in choline and folate and vitamins A, D, E, K, all of these fat-soluble vitamins, full of cholesterol, high fat, so it's really going to help you to seal the gut lining and lubricate the digestive tract, which is also really helpful for stimulating your gallbladder to cleanse itself. Overall, one of the best things you could do for your gut health, for cellular repair in general. But you're going to add at least 1 egg yolk, not the egg white, but the egg yolk, into your meat stock mug that's warmed up. It's not going to be boiling hot because otherwise it's going to cook the egg yolk, but just moderately warm. You're going to add in 1 separated egg yolk into that meat stock. And the third ingredient is going to be sauerkraut brine. Sauerkraut brine is literally the brine from fermented cabbage. So you're going to take cabbage, you're going to put it in some salt water and leave it on the counter, sealed in a mason jar for 4 to 7 days at minimum. Or if you're really histamine sensitive, which you know if you are, then you'll need to extend it for more like 30 days. Add in just a drop of that in the very beginning. And you guys, that is going to be so much better than any of the commercial probiotics that are on the market right now. So much more diverse, also so much cheaper. You're going to save yourself a lot of money. And it has all the strains of beneficial lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, all of these strains that have been researched to help support the gut lining integrity, help to rebalance that ecosystem in the gut. Anytime you introduce beneficial microbes, you are going to kick out some of the pathogenic microbes, and it's going to help to bring balance and order into your internal ecosystem. Your gut bacteria produce vitamins, they produce enzymes that are necessary for supporting digestion and actually protecting your gut from experiencing experiencing leaky gut. So whenever you're going about healing any sort of digestive dysfunction, we really want to make sure we're getting adequate amounts of probiotics. They can be very strong at first, so I always tell people start really slow, but adding in maybe a drop or two, or even up to a tablespoon into that mug is going to be an amazing way to get probiotics on top of the meat stock, which is really going to be a powerhouse for healing your gut. If you can do that every single morning, you guys, you have checked the box for the number one thing I recommend to my clients starting out with. We're not going on an anti-Candida diet or a cleanse or a parasite, whatnot. We're really just adding in these therapeutic foods that heal and seal the gut. If you want to learn more about this whole idea, I actually have a free masterclass that I will link below, where I go into much more depth as to why these foods are so important. Go ahead and check that out. But one mug of this in the morning, or really whenever during the day, but I like to have it in the morning. It's nice on an empty stomach, especially when you're beginning that gut healing process. Treat it like a supplement. This is the real starting point. There is no way to get around this step. You'd have to adjust your lifestyle to be able to make this and make it properly. There's not a pill that you can take, a supplement you can take that is going to rival this. Not L-theanine, not probiotic capsules, not collagen powders, not colostrum supplements, not gelatin or multivitamins. None of it is going to rival what you will get in this mug. And I'm so serious, you guys, this really is it. Now, if you want to really be a go-getter, then you can go ahead and start introducing 5 to maybe even 8 cups of this a day and really go into a period of deep gut healing. But I know that's a lot. And this video is really, if you're just starting out, just do 1 in the morning and treat it like it's a supplement. Now, I'm not so naive as to think that you're just going to be able to tolerate this amount of egg yolks or probiotics or meat stock right away. For some people, even a drop of meat stock can be too stimulating on their body. They have to actually cut way back and just introduce like little specks of it at first as their body assimilates. They might have too much yeast overgrowth for the amount of beneficial bacteria that's even just in a drop of sauerkraut. So for some of you, you're going to need to start really slow. And I want to kind of break down what that process might look like for you. Maybe you start with 1 drop of sauerkraut brine and you say, okay, I did well with that. I'm going to bump up to 2 drops. Maybe you bump to 2 drops and you don't do well with it and the die-off becomes so unbearable. I talk about die-off a lot on this channel, but it's this idea that when pathogens die off, they will cough up all the toxic gases that they're holding onto and it can overwhelm your system. So what we would do in that instance, if 2 drops was too overstimulating, we're going to go back to 1 drop. And that 1 drop, you're going to hang out there for another few days. And then you're going to try the 2 drops again. Now, this is going to feel like a dance. Dr. Natasha talks about like it's this dance, but basically what you're trying to modulate is this die-off reaction from being too unbearable that your body cannot handle it and it becomes too overwhelming and inflammatory to your system. So you're going to start with a drop. Maybe you even need to dilute that drop a lot. Maybe you put that drop in a quart and you take 1 drop of that amount. And you're going to just slowly build your tolerance up till you get to a therapeutic dose. You get to the place where you're experiencing some die-off, which would be good. It would be an indicator that your gut is actually rebalancing, but you're not experiencing so much that it becomes so overwhelming. This is actually a lot of the protocol that Dr. Natasha recommends. This is actually the foundation for the GAPS nutritional protocol. This is the protocol that Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride created in order to actually resolve her son's autism symptoms. And it works for a number of other chronic symptoms. And if you're not convinced of that, go ahead and check out that masterclass because I can convince you that these things really do work. And I've seen it happen time and again in my own life. And if you are sensitive, then very likely you're not going to introduce all 3 of these ingredients all at once. You might just need to start with the meat stock, get to a place where you can tolerate a cup of it, and then you're introducing the egg yolk, and then you're introducing the fermented brine. It's going to be a slow process for some of you, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that things are not going well. It actually is a really good sign of healing. Healing always tends to be slow in the beginning. I want to encourage you with that. Even though it's slow, that doesn't mean it's a problem. It might just mean that your body needs a little bit more sensitive care in the beginning. And we want to give it that so that it develops this sense of resilience and diversity so that we can move forward in our gut microbiome rebalancing. Now, this is step number 1. So what I do with my clients is I have them get to the place where they can confidently tolerate this. We might need to do some detox support. We might need to modulate this. We might need to slow down the effects of this. We might need to do other dietary interventions or certain targeted supplements. But what I tell my clients is that once we've gotten to the point where we can tolerate that effectively, we're going to move to this phase of diversification. So once we tolerate sauerkraut brine, that's a really good first ferment. We want to start start diversifying and challenging the microbiome. We want to challenge it with ferments that it's never seen before. We want to challenge it with amounts that we've never seen before. All of this is going to be very bio-individual to your specific body. And once we get to the place where, okay, your microbiome is healed and robust enough that you're not experiencing these symptoms, these major symptoms, these chronic symptoms, we are then going to introduce the targeted detox support. Now, we don't do this before we really work on clearing your drainage pathways and supporting your detox pathways. But then what we will do is we will take time to do some heavy metal. And effectively, we're trying to gently remove the toxins from your body in a way that your body can manage so that your microbiome stays rebalanced. And I say that with all honesty, that I have seen so many people just take probiotics for a period of time and then they don't ever make it to this place of detoxing, and that ends up being this missing link for them. Then we do this phase of really deep nervous system regulation work so that their bodies start to learn to be healed and kind of rewiring their stress response around these chronic symptoms. And this is the process that I take people on step by step. It is kind of this 3-pillar approach of starting with the gut healing, moving on to detoxification, and then nervous system regulation. I think nervous system regulation could be throughout the whole thing, but essentially it's this 3-pillar approach that really addresses, I think, all 3 root causes of chronic illness that are out there. Which again, controversial. But if you're interested in that approach, if you would like the support, if you feel like maybe I'm the sensitive person, that I really need some catered approach, some catered supplementation, somebody to really hold my hand through this process, you can check out the link in the description for my Whole Health Blueprint coaching program. It is a 6-month program. It is very intensive. It is honestly only for those of you who are really ready to do the work for yourself and to take initiation in your healing. And I'm there to give you the blueprint, to be your guide, and to help support you along the way and coach you in all of it. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description box below for you to apply. We would love to have you in the program. And I will just say that we only have a certain number of spots left. I think it's only 4 spots left at the time of recording for one-to-one clients, because I can only personally take on a certain amount of one-to-one clients inside this program. I want it to be very catered, and it's really designed to give you this kind of unlimited access to me for support and back and forth to really create a protocol that works for you and your lifestyle. So don't wait. There are only 4 slots left at being able to get 12 one-to-one sessions throughout the whole program. And then I will probably shift the model of the program to more of a group coaching container. But I want to coach you one-on-one. I want to see you get results in your health with a root cause approach. So if you got any value out of this video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more root cause gut health related content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.